Hello, welcome. How's it going? I felt like making a big ugly head, big scary head. So I figured it would make a good short recording to stick up on YouTube. Considering I don't really know what it is, I don't really have a specific thing I'm doing on YouTube yet. I'm just kind of throwing a bunch of shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. I figured why not? This would be a shorter video compared to my other videos that are usually recorded while doing streams. So it's not going to be quite like a how-to so much as it's just going to show how I do big ugly heads. I do a lot of texture and all my head, most of everything I do is like in the horror genre, so let's just get into it. So I haven't even really thought what I want the face to do. I kind of was more concentrating on getting everything set up for this video, and then I realized I don't know what it is I want to do for a head, so I'm gonna kind of make it up as I go along. I always start with a back layer of black or something like this, just to get the general shape, and it helps make the paint that I do on top look a lot more vibrant. All my levels are good and everything, right? Yes. Okay. I got the storm sound effects you're listening to right now are done by my cousin. He put this together for me because he's a sound engineer and I just need things to play in the back of videos like this. So I'll put a link to. He gave me I can't remember if it was a LinkedIn or a Linktree thing he wants me to promote, but I gotta get him to get a proper channel for his sound design stuff. But yeah, Danny Moss, my cousin. Anyway, yeah, so once we kind of get like a shape going here, do I want to give him a neck? Yeah, maybe I'll do like kind of more like a bust. Shrink it a little bit there. My typical go-to is either demons or zombies. I think this might be more of a zombie. I'm gonna do. Demons and zombies are like the easiest thing for me to make at this point. Okay, so now because it's a zombie, what I do is now I put another sub layer of red just to drive home that this is a gory, bloody, disgusting creature. And now on top of that, sometimes I change the texture up at this point. I'm not going to now. I'm just going to stick with the, if you didn't catch that, I'm using the turpentine brush here. Now I go fairly gray flesh tone. I don't know. I gotta. All right. So, future note to myself is I gotta maybe shrink down the webcam boxes. I could do that right now, but it's gonna like destroy everything, and I don't really want to spend the video doing that. So maybe for the next one, just so you guys can see things a little more clearly. But yeah. Anyway, I usually get it in around there, and then make the brush a little bit smaller. I'm using an Apple pen, I can't remember, pen or pencil, and I find the pressure sensitivity on obviously an iPad Pro, and I'm using Procreate to do this. The pressure control is like a must-have. Once you have it and you use it, you can't really go back. So yeah, and I'm not trying to fill in everything, I'm just trying to give like an idea of flesh, and I could have maybe made that a little bit darker to begin with. Actually, maybe I'll just add straight gray at this point. Like I said, everything I do is in like extreme layers. I don't know why they're extreme, but that word was in my heart in that moment, so it came out. Okay, then we go back to black and start placing some of the details. Well, where the details are going to go, I should say. Eyes, nose hole, I was thinking I could maybe... Do I want to give him a mouth, or should I, like, damage his head? Yeah, I'm just gonna keep it simple today. No, as a rule, I try not to use the undo too much when I'm doing these. Sometimes I forget, and, like, it just becomes, like, a force of habit, like it was there. But generally speaking, I tend to try to just let the layers keep building. Even if, like, if I make a mistake, just paint over it. Don't need to undo it. Sometimes a mistake is very egregious and it's a thing that you would have to spend like a weird amount of time to fix, and it's just not worth it. But anyway, everything is about trying to build up on top of everything else. But I'm not really too concerned with getting detail in there yet. Okay, so now let's switch over the brush type. We'll go back to a flesh tone. A little bit bigger. He's looking pretty smooth for a zombie right now, I would say. So come back to the turpentine. Just as you'll kind of notice, like at the beginning of the stream, I'd start with pretty big brushes, and it's like as I go, and I shouldn't say stream, started at the beginning of the video. Yeah, the brushes will get smaller and smaller as I go, as I pack in more detail. But I'm a very like chaotic kind of artist. I just sort of work on things as I see them. I know from at least the videos I've watched of other artists, a lot of them seem to just, they'll either work with one color at a time and just place the layers kind of methodically up on one another, or they'll pick a specific spot of the piece that they're working on and just work that spot till completion, and then kind of spread out from there. I'm just a mess of chaos kind of all over the place all the time. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. That's why I don't really feel like I should be making how-to videos so much as I just show how I do things, and maybe people can get something out of that. I don't know. Oh, okay, so now here's the thing that I gotta make a decision with. Zombies can have a lot of different kind of eyes. I think I'm just gonna go like basic dead people eyes right now. So I give big cartoonish circles to begin with, and then shape them down, almost more like I'm sculpting them in a way. It kind of feels like, at least. Oh, I don't like that shape. Yeah. Back to black. I feel like I keep tapping the mic, and I'm hoping that's not making a lot of noise. But okay. I was gonna make, a lot of YouTubers will use like those what are those called? Something jack, Bojack, something jack, like those very typical like black and white cartoony faces that people use for all kinds of memes and everything. Something jack, I can't remember. I wanted to make my own versions of those to put on YouTube thumbs, but everything I make is fleshy and gross, and that's not always the vibe I want for the videos that I'm making. So I'm kind of trying to figure out a way I can find a good middle ground to make a bunch of those. Find some lips here. Now you can. This is more or less going to be like just a very textured looking person. If I wanted to really push this, and I will in future videos, because I will do other videos of quick how to make monsters and zombies and aliens and robots and all that kind of stuff. Also, I move my camera here, so you're going to see me looking up here to talk to the camera sometimes. I completely just not used to the like foot difference that I've made with this camera's location. But I think it's better because now you're not staring at the top of my head. You get a nice, unflattering thumb head angle instead, which is a little bit better, at least for you. Maybe not my dignity, but you know, whatever. Okay, let's see. Again, zombie eyes. I could just leave them gray. I'm not gonna do that. You know, he looks more like, or he's coming off more like, to me so far, is more like one of the what are they called from Fallout? Ghouls. He's got like too much personality in his face. No, I didn't like that. Could make his mouth hanging open a little bit. Yeah, so as you can see right now, I'm just taking random colors from his face and using them. I should get more gray in there. Adding gray is the thing I kind of space on a lot. I do kind of want to try and keep it like a darker tones for now. And then I can do proper highlights after. We'll get to that eventually. Okay, I can start putting a little bits of blood in there. And around the eyes. His teeth should be like gray or yellow even, but I want to keep this. Oh. So yeah, for teeth, I usually just do kind of the same thing I do with the eyes, make big smudges and then shape them down. Oh, that one was a bit too high up. A little bit tighter. He shouldn't really have like white teeth. But okay. Give him some ears. Oops, that's a little bit. Stop reading my finger. You can use your finger to like select the colors you want off the ones that are on the screen in this program, but it doesn't always read my finger. very frustrating when it doesn't just do it. Attach his ears to his head. See how I just kind of scribble a lot with the paint? It's a thing that I'm trying to translate to like my actual paintings, like not digital paintings. Is this like scribbly kind of technique, but it's harder to do that, like a lot harder with actual paint, so it's a thing I'm working on with a painting right now that I don't want to stream or show off because it's just a lot of trial and error. I'm probably going to end up going over a lot of this texture that I'm going to put in, but I'm just going to start putting it in. His head needs to be a little bit. Okay, so shave this down. His cheek needs to be more gone. Now, I usually, like, anybody that's familiar with my art knows I leave a lot of the smudges in. I just like the way it looks. So anytime I smooth any of this down, I usually go a little bit extra just so that I can go and build up more of the smudges back. I do kind of want to get some of that gauntness in his cheeks. He had a very, like, full-looking face before. Thinner neck. That was too much. Okay, now bring this back and kind of reshape it a little. Got a little too much on this side. It's starting to look a little more like a skinny zombie. Oh, that was cold coffee. Ugh. Add some more scribbles on top to get some more of that flesh texture. Some shoulders, so kind of want to get good thing about zombies is things don't need to be symmetrical. If anything, they absolutely should not be symmetrical. They should look like their body is falling apart and uneven. Okay, got some red. Cover up the big black cartoonish lines. Done. Get some spatter back in there. I'm trying my best to stick to just these two brushes for today, just to keep it simple, but I do use other brushes for other things, and I'll get into that in other videos. But for today, We're gonna use the KISS system. Keep it simple, stupid. I'm also starting to rush a little bit because I have to go to the washroom and I don't want to pause this. My screen just went to screensaver mode, which is a thing that doesn't happen ever when I'm making recordings or videos or anything, so that's weird. Okay, hopefully video didn't get messed up or anything there. Okay, anyways, back to what I was doing. Come on. Gotta say, my cousin did a very good job putting together this thunderstorm sound for me. I'm very appreciative of that. I should give him like one big sticky outy ear. Does that just look stupid? It's okay. I just won't keep it fairly dark. Okay. His teeth. So, should I give him a tongue? Just kind of like a barely visible one. Again, shake it down. Let's get in there and do some detail on the face. I know I said that I was going to try to stick to using just those two brushes that I've been showing, but it just dawned on me that I'm going to have to show at least one more in order to do this properly. Oh, a thing I meant to point out at the beginning of the stream, and I completely forgot. I realized my lips are very red. I'm not wearing lipstick. I've done nothing to do this intentionally. I don't know why they look so red. They're not that red. IRL. I have not eaten anything red. Just putting that out there so people don't think I'm just wearing lipstick. That is not right. Tiny little messy glare on his eyeballs. Oops. A little bit darker here. Yep, it's too dark. Now, a thing I start doing for creatures of this sort, you know, zombies or whatever, is you'll start to see, as you pack more and more detail and layers in, little tiny, like, holes or pock marks or whatever, and you start filling them in with darker colors, and it makes their skin look more mottled and diseased. So like around this ear, there's a little bit. I should go a little bit darker. Start adding some like dark gray and black to certain parts to make it look like those completely rotted out. I didn't really do a lot of those pockmarks that I said I was going to do. Usually I'll pack like a whole bunch of them in. Okay, I guess I'll just quickly do a few more. I do usually do a different tool to do them, but I'm not going to do that right now because I'm not going to concentrate on these too much. And what we do is get the skin tone and go back around them a little bit just to get a little bit more shape. Give this ear. I like to start doing kind of veiny lines, but with the flesh tone. I think it just looks good. Okay. Bring the stucco back. Give his chin a little more flesh. Do that here. Okay, now we'll go light and give a little more highlight. There is a brush in here somewhere. Is it in textures? I don't remember where it is, but it's specifically called Zombie Skin, and I personally prefer using stucco. I should maybe do one using the zombie skin next time. Excuse me. Here. Get. Right. I put those lines there so that I would remember to add in a little bit more bone structure. Nothing crazy. I try to cover up as much as like his whole nose area looks like paint streaks, and so I try my best to make it not look like they're on the flesh tone itself. Sometimes the paint streaky look is good, especially around the edges where I want those splotches, but whoa. Wasn't expecting that thunder. Okay. Maybe a little red. Yeah, I think that looks a little bit better. Get the shading in there. I don't know. It would probably. I've been debating if I should like try to edit these videos down, but it's like I don't think there's any part of this I should really cut out, even if it's like small little mundane things here and there. I never know what exactly could help somebody else, or what little thing they're looking, like what it is they're looking to get out of a video like this. So I'm probably just gonna keep them relatively raw. Unedited. It's a very thick center nose piece. Shouldn't be that thick. Thing is, if you want to get kind of sick, I know, but like if you want to get good at drawing dead people, you might want to consider go looking at some pictures of dead people. But it's definitely not for everybody. Make that a little more. Also, I realize I start a lot of thoughts saying them out loud, and then they don't go anywhere. Most of the time that's just me thinking out loud and then realizing my thought, if I try saying it out loud, is probably not gonna make any sense. So I stop halfway through, which makes it sound like it makes even less sense, honestly. Yeah, I'll get better at this as I go, hopefully. You know, fingers crossed. Just like I did with art. It was not good at all when I first started. I was very much at the bottom. At the bottom. Bottom of the artistic talent pool, I guess. But yeah, I just kind of kept at it for years and got better over time. I'm no, like, Da Vinci now, but I've definitely improved. Especially ever since I got into digital. Something about digital just really clicked with me. But now I'm going back to making real paintings and drawings. I shouldn't say real, but like ones on paper and canvas. a little more to build on those skills again. His lips. He, like me, kind of looks like he's wearing lipstick right now. That's not the look I'm going for. Okay, now give a little bit of shine to the lips to make them look nice and moist. Later. Just a little bit. That might even be too much. At least at the side. Don't need it here, here. Thin it out here. Now, how long have we been going? Wow, I wanted this to be a half an hour. So much for that, I guess. We're getting there though. So okay, any of these like sort of red spots? They're not quite open wounds. They're not. I don't know what they are. They're red spots. Ooh, and see, here's a good spot to make those pock marks. That I'm not quite using the right brush for, but whatever. Again, today we kiss. Keep it simple, stupid. So yeah, you want to make some more of these. And then we can take this, and this is the last thing I'm going to show. The 6B pencils is what I usually use to get that final bit of detail in there. Put tiny little white, does even white dots on the red area, and it makes it look like wet blood. I'm trying not to rush this too much, but I really gotta go to the washroom. I went right before I started, but I drank a lot of coffee this morning, so it didn't make a difference. I'm just gonna put them on the one side. Those are too big. Okay, see now this is like an example where I just undo everything because like I don't want to add layers to that part of his face yet because it's like so near done. If I do that, then I'm gonna have to like basically do a whole part of it over, which I don't want to do. So these random burps that just keep coming up on me too. Try to make the dots go with the streaks to make it look like they're sitting on little chunks of sinew. 2 minutes. Okay. Let's go here. Go back to turpentine. Let's get a little. This ear's a little thin here. Just filling it in. This point. Zombies aren't typically pointy. Oh, the screen turned off again. I'm back. Okay. Everything's good? Okay. I don't know why it's doing that. It's never done that before. Usually the stream software keeps it open. Spot here I could kind of make his head look a little more wounded, not well. Oh man, there's a homeless guy in Nashville, Tennessee that is walking around missing part of his skull and his brain is just exposed right now. People get photos of him and post them online every now and then. People are trying to help him. Apparently got into like a car accident or something and just lost that part of his head. He's still alive. You see pictures of him just walking around smoking. This is fucking brain showing. Lines in there. Like his head looks more damaged than my guy's head, come to think of it. Okay. Now I'm gonna go back to you and kind of as a final detail, put some like squiggly lines. It kind of looks like veins almost. It just adds more detail and texture. I usually put the black lines where like darker textures would happen, obviously, or darker like shading. I mean, sorry. I'm also gonna not put too much detail into his body today. Again, kiss. These are just kind of random. A little bit into his head. It's kind of around the edges and the side. And then we do the same thing but with white lines and not as much. And I find it just makes the skin look like meatier. And these ones are a little bit trickier. You can't. They're random, but like you gotta kind of still make them go with the skin a little bit. I never really finished this part of his face. It's gonna bug me if I don't. Okay. The thunder didn't get me that time. Doing scratchy lines like this kind of helps. Give it more of that texture I keep going on about. I'll come down here, actually. Yeah, maybe we'll try doing some negative stucco. Usually I use the stucco for highlights, but can be used just to add like dark texture, like what I'm doing right now to certain spots. A little bit more underneath here, and just a little there, because the cheek more gone there, a little darker there, a little darker. Actually, that should be like almost black there. A few more of these white lines. Kind of got distracted. Stopped doing them. Oops. It's too straight. Couple of those wet, shiny dots. Just maybe like a couple in his ear. Okay. There. This is a simple zombie. Yeah. There's a lot more. I could spend more time with this and just keep chipping away at it, keep adding details, keep adding pockmarks and stuff like that, but for today we're just gonna keep it here. Already run up to like 45 minutes, over 45 minutes. So yeah, I'll do more videos like this in future, doing different, mostly probably busts and like different creatures and whatever, just, you know, explaining my process. But yeah. Anyway, I hope this helps somehow. Thanks for watching. Peace.